The Isaiah Factor Uncensored starts right now.
And thank you for staying up late with us here on The Factor. We have a great show planned for you and lots of great guests, if they behave, right, Mr. Walker? We have your hot topics tonight, including changing sexuality and teachers forced to perform custodial duties like run after damn roaches. But first, a convicted murderer gives his personal excuse for killing his pregnant wife and their two daughters in 2018. Chris Watts, who is currently serving a life sentence, called his late wife, Shannon, a control freak in letters to another inmate. Watts had been having an affair with another woman, claiming he was able to seek mental and emotional refuge with the mistress despite his wife's controlling tendencies. Watts strangled his wife to death after a fight in which he revealed he was cheating. He then smothered his two daughters to death, and those kids 3 and 4 years old. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, mental health counselor Ashantia Wolf, spiritual life coach Goddess Jess, and of course parent Demetrius Walker. So parent, Demetrius, when you hear this, your thoughts about this?
It's terrible. I mean, it's just unfathomable that somebody could commit a crime so heinous. You know, just unbelievable. I can't comprehend, you know, how he could rationalize that he would do something like that.
Not just rationalize, he blamed her for her behavior, for killing her.
Yeah, they need to put him under the jail, man. Yeah, straight up.
And Goddess Jesse, your thoughts on this?
I think that it is a total shame that he is saying all this. An excuse is just that, an excuse. And you could have easily left this person, went with your mistress, did whatever, but you decided to stay, and it sounds like a crime of passion that we're trying to frame up to be the victim's fault.
And Jesse makes a good point there. He could have just left, but he stayed, and according to prosecutors and investigators, he killed his wife and his two daughters. What was going on there from your perspective as a professional?
Well, we see this quite often, and I think that's the saddest thing about this case. About 34% of women who are killed in the United States are at the hands of their partner. Only 6% of men have that statistic. So we see this often. We see either premeditated or a spur of the moment, and then we see the finger pointing for a lack of accountability and poor character. That's not an excuse.
But what do we think the reason for him doing this psychologically or practically?
Right. So in in this particular case, I don't have a lot of the facts, but commonly we see that there's a domestic violence issue, there's mental instability, there's a lack of planning. He could have easily divorced, but all these factors go into play on the crime of passion.
Got it. And now to frustrations in the California school district. Teachers in the school district, in the Bay Area School District, are upset because the district spent $315,000 on an energy healer. That's instead of using the money in the school. The energy healer was on contract for 3 years. She would have led district leadership officials on meditations. Goddess Jesse?
I knew you were going to come to me.
You're like, let these people keep their money.
I too am a, spiritual life coach. I'm an energy healer and all those things.
Wait. First of all, tell us what the hell that is.
Okay.
Because I ain't never had my energy hurting.
Well, you never know. So, I run the Sweet Love Sanctuary in Houston. I am a spiritual life coach and an energy healer. And that is someone that can heal you holistically, can heal you spiritually. I was talking earlier, and you can have a therapist, you could have a counselor, and you could have a priest all in one. And an energy healer can do all those things and more.
But Anshantia, when you have a situation like this where teachers don't have the bare necessities in the school district, then you have a problem with it. Or do you?
We have a problem with it, period. There's lack of transparency there. There's lack of management of funds there. The parents have a right to know what their money is going toward and how their kids are being affected by this.
All right, Demetrius, as a parent, what do you want?
Look, man, you know,
A clean school or energy? Look at Goddess Jessie looking at you now. What you
Right,
want?
answer
What do
wisely.
you really want?
I want my teachers to have a clear mind when they're teaching my children in school. I want them to be refreshed and energized. And, you know, now I will say, when I heard that this lady made $300K, you know, for teaching people downward dog, I was a little bit surprised. I was a little shocked.
pressed the wrong button.
I was a little shocked. But, you know, I think the intent was in the right place by the superintendent. You know, he was coming in with a different approach. He said, hey, man, these kids are driving y'all crazy. I'm going to bring somebody in who's going to help y'all manage how crazy these kids are driving.
Goddess
Yeah,
Jessie.
definitely. You got to give it to the teachers, you know. If it was just the people at the top, okay, I think that might be something to look at. But if this could get into the actual schools with the teachers, the administrators, and the students, I think it could be a game changer.
All right, next topic on The Factor tonight, evolving sexuality. There's a new term out there called abrosexual. Abrosexual. According to WebMD, that someone who is abrosexual may have periods of different intensities of attraction, which basically means their sexuality can flip-flop and change over time. So, Demetrius, what do you think about this?
I'm confused as to why they came up with the term abrosexual. I thought they were just called super freaks. That's, you know, I don't know where we just got new terms every day coming out. You know, I just think, do you? You know.
Right, yeah.
And Anshantia, couldn't that be just like bisexual, or is that different from that?
That it's very different. So now we have another label that helps validate people's sexuality. We have over 100 labels for sexuality, and I think it's a great thing. I don't think it's a new thing. I think it gives people vocabulary so they understand what's going on with their life.
Goddess Jessie, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, at first when I read it, I thought it was like, hey, bro, like, you know, like you are attracted to your friends. Like, I didn't realize exactly what it meant.
So break it down really quick on what you understand it is.
For me, what I understand is that at any time of your life, you can adjust or flip on how much to what gender or style you like. So maybe you're asexual, maybe you're bisexual, maybe you're trisexual. Like, you'll just try what feels good to you, and it can be called now abrosexual or abrosexual, however you want to do it.
Come on, Demetrius.
I just think it's fun. You know, just do what makes you
come
happy.
on, Demetrius. What's
I
up?
think they should have called it damn bro sexual. That's what I mean. Damn, bro, you just out here doing anything, you know.
Thank you guys for joining us for Hot Topics tonight.